You are listening to Crime Unraveled, a Buck Taylor novel by Chuck Morgan.
Chapter 12. Jack Mortensen enjoyed his work with the Velasquez Mining Company, a subsidiary of Velasquez Enterprises. He'd started with the company right after graduating from the Colorado School of Mines with a master's degree in mine safety and a PhD in geology. His fascination with rocks and minerals began when he was a little kid, and he still possessed the very first mineral collection his father had given him when he graduated kindergarten. It was made of cardboard and had 20 small mineral specimens under little plastic bubbles. The description of each mineral was written under the sample, and he would spend hours reading and rereading the information. He was keeping it safe so that someday he could pass it along to his own children. The sun shone through a gap in the bedroom curtains as he opened his eyes in the small bedroom in his house in gypsum. He reached behind him and found the other side of the bed empty but still warm. He picked up his phone off the nightstand and looked at the time. It was early, and he was thinking about maybe grabbing another half hour of sleep when his wife pushed open the bedroom door. She held up her phone. There was a landslide last night. The highway through Glenwood Canyon was destroyed, and there's a huge rock dam across the river. We may have to evacuate if the water gets too high. Jack grabbed his glasses off the dresser and opened a local news app on his phone. He read the article and looked at his wife. He was as white as the sheet he was sitting under. "Jack, what's wrong?" she asked. "Nothing you need to worry about." He threw off the sheets and slid out of bed. "I need to get going. The article said it was an earthquake. I need to get to the mine and make sure everything is okay." He walked into the bathroom and closed the door, leaving Betty, his wife, standing in the doorway, dumbfounded. After a quick shower, he dressed in jeans and a flannel shirt and slid on his steel-toed work boots. He walked into the kitchen, and Betty placed a bowl of cereal and a cup of black coffee in front of him. "Jack, what's going on? You turned white as a ghost when you read the article. What aren't you telling me?" "It's nothing, Bet. I have a few things to check on at the mine, but I may end up working late tonight. I'll try to call you if that happens." "But Jack, what if?" He stood and grabbed both her arms. "There's nothing to worry about. I'll call you later and we can talk about it, but right now I have to get going." Jack finished his breakfast, stood, kissed Betty, and headed for his pickup truck. He climbed onto the seat, threw his backpack on the passenger seat and sat for a few minutes, his mind racing. "They didn't tell me it was happening this morning. What the hell is going on? I should call Timothy. He should be in the office right now." He pulled out his phone and clicked on the number for Timothy Woodman, but the phone went straight to voicemail. He hung up and dialed the security desk at the office. "Security. How can I help you?" "Hi Marty, Jack Mortensen." "Hey Dr. Mortensen. Did you hear about the earthquake this morning? Dammed up the whole Colorado River. What a mess." "Yeah Marty. Listen, did Timothy Woodman check in this morning?" "Yeah, he must have come in early, because he was already checked in when I got here for my shift." "Is he still checked in, Marty?" "I tried his cell phone, but it went straight to voicemail." "No, Doc. He left about an hour ago with Mr. Heinrich." "Thanks, Marty." Jack hung up, his hands shaking so much that the phone slipped and fell onto his leg. Shit, why would he leave with Heinrich? That guy's a creep. What the hell is going on? He closed the door, started the truck, and backed out of the driveway. He didn't notice his wife watching him out the front window with her arms wrapped around herself and a concerned look on her face. He turned onto the interstate and headed for the office. After passing through a state patrol roadblock, he pulled onto the road leading to the office, but stopped short when he spotted Dutch Heinrich sliding out of his SUV alone and talking on the phone. He wondered where Timothy was, but he decided he wasn't going to wait around to find out. Something wasn't right. He turned around and headed back the way he came. He needed to get Betty, and they needed to take a vacation someplace away from here. He drove onto I-70 eastbound, drove the 20 minutes to Gypsum and exited onto US 6. He cruised down Valley Road, turned left onto Chatfield Lane and headed for his house on Springfield Street. At the end of the block, he stopped. Parked in front of his house was a jacked-up yellow Ford F-150 with huge all-terrain tires, the tailgate covered with bumper stickers. Two burly guys with bald heads and wearing leather vests were walking up his front walk. "This isn't good," he said out loud to no one. He watched as his wife opened the door. She spoke to the two men for a moment and started to close the door when they pushed their way in and the door closed. Jack pulled back out of his street and headed back to the interstate. He figured his wife would be okay since they were looking for him and wouldn't hurt her. He turned onto the interstate heading east and hit the gas. He had no idea where he was going. He just knew he needed to get away from Gypsum as fast as possible.
Thank you for listening to this chapter of Crime Unraveled, a Buck Taylor novel by Chuck Morgan. You can find the entire crime series as well as other novels by Chuck Morgan at chuckmorganbooks.com or on Amazon.